Hi there, dear Truth Warriors, and welcome back to the channel. The mother-daughter bond can shape a woman's entire life. But what happens when that bond is toxic? In this video, I want to share with you the 5 prominent characteristics of a narcissistic mother, and also the 5 effects that the mother's behavior has on her daughter. Number 1 would be control and manipulation. There is always emotional control being demonstrated to you, whether it's through a snide remark, whether it's something that she says to you to lower your sense of self-worth, to make you feel small, to make you feel inadequate. There is always emotional control being demonstrated. The second one is a lack of empathy. So the narcissistic mother will prioritize her needs and in doing so totally dismiss her daughter's feelings. This happens so very often. It's always about prioritizing her needs, what she wants, what is good for her. And if you come to her with challenges that you're facing in life, with stuff that has happened at school, with what education you want to further, whatever it may be, whatever life challenge you come to her with, she will dismiss this totally. So in the end, you just stop sharing a lot of stuff with your mother. You just sense there's certain things I cannot say to her or cannot share with her because everything that is important to me is going to be dismissed by her. The third characteristic is criticism and comparison. So she will constantly be tearing you down as her daughter, constantly. And then comparing you to your friends, to a family member, to a stranger on the street. Look how that woman wears that outfit. I wish you could do the same. Look at the way that woman has, I don't know, done her makeup. That would look good on you, but you don't have the talent to apply your makeup in that fashion. This may sound very trivial and very silly to outsiders, but this is what gets you in your feelings. This is what hurts. And it's a constant gnawing away at your self-worth and self-acceptance. The fourth one is projection. So the narcissistic mother will project all of her own insecurities and failures onto you. You are going to be the reason why she couldn't pursue the career, why she couldn't get the house that she wanted, why she couldn't buy the car or buy the clothing that she wanted, because of you, because she became a mother. So she's going to make you feel insecure and trivial for her own inadequacies, her own failures, her own insecurities. This is all about projection. It has nothing to do with you. This is not your fault, but this is the feeling that she's going to give you by practicing, demonstrating years on end of emotional control and manipulation. The fifth one, which is also a very big one, and it's not spoken of very often, at least not from what I have heard, is the jealousy that a narcissistic mother will have towards her daughter. And this comes from feeling threatened. The narcissistic mother feels threatened by her daughter's accomplishments, by her beauty, by her youth, by her relationships or friendships. She will constantly feel threatened. Again, this is not on you. But the jealousy and the envy you will be able to sense, you will see in her behavior. It is ridiculous and it's sickening and it's painful. Because the job of a mother, of a healthy mother, is from day one, from the time she's carrying that baby in her womb, is that she starts to lay a foundation for that daughter, or for that son for that matter. Laying a foundation of security, of love, of safety, of nurturing. These are all the beautiful values that go into building a foundation for the child that is coming into your life. Because it is a mother's duty to prepare her daughter for life by demonstrating to her the virtues and the values and the love and the safety. But in a toxic bond with a narcissistic mother, this foundation is never laid. There is just no foundation on which you can then build your own life. So this all has to do with jealousy. She's jealous and therefore she will not build that foundation with you, as she should. There is a lot of undermining going on here, where through the jealousy, through the envy, the narcissistic mother will undermine your values, your integrity, your honesty, your truth, whatever it may be, those beautiful values, she will totally undermine them. And with all these characteristics, of course, this is going to have such an impact, such an effect on the daughter. And I've just jotted down 5 effects that they can, I mean, there are many more, but these are the 5 prominent effects that I hear of, that I coach on a daily basis in my coaching practice. The first one for the daughters is the low self-esteem. So you feel unworthy due to the constant criticism from the time you were a baby to a toddler, to a young child, to a teenager. There's constant criticism. What is said to you becomes the story that you keep playing in your mind. So the story has an effect on how you're feeling, on how you show up in life, on how you show up in relationships or in your own parenthood. There is so much low self-esteem there due to the criticism. And this, of course, this can be healed. This is about self-parenting. When you realize, when you come to that moment in your life when you realize, I've had a toxic bond with my mother for so many years and I need to break free. I need to become my own person. I need to show up as my authentic self. That's when self-parenting comes into play. And this is something that I coach again so often in my coaching practice. How to build your self-worth. How to see yourself as an authentic person, which is separate from the expectations that your mother unfairly put on you. The second effect on daughters is people-pleasing. Because you struggle with boundaries, a healthy mother would have showed you from an early age how to set boundaries, because boundaries are necessary in life. We all need boundaries, because boundaries are there to keep ourselves safe, to maintain our self-control. That's what boundaries are for. But if you've never been taught how to set boundaries, then you are going to overcompensate, seeking external approval. And this again comes from a sense of feeling unworthy. If I do more, if I be more for the other person, then I will gain their approval. This is a very normal, it's not a natural, but it's a normal response to trauma through a narcissistic mother. The third effect on daughters is identity challenges. So you have difficulty forming a sense of self, as I just said, separate from your mother's expectations. She has molded you, manipulated you into believing that you have to be her puppet on a string. And when you don't know any better, this is what you're going to follow. If you're not being used as a puppet, then what do you do? Of course you won't know. You've never been taught. So again, this is not your fault, but it can be repaired by doing the inner work, by bringing your authentic self to the foreground, by setting the boundaries, by practicing inner self-care. That's how you blossom. The fourth one is guilt and shame. So you feel guilty for asserting independence. Again, you've never been taught. You feel shameful of who you are because of the jealousy and envy shown by your narcissistic mother. You just feel shameful of who you are. There's no reason, you cannot pinpoint it, but this is your mother's work, your narcissistic mother's work. It's that she has made you feel inferior due to the intimidation, the manipulation, the emotional control. So there's a lot of guilt and shame involved. And this you can break. It's a pattern. It's a toxic pattern through the toxic bond. And you can break this by recognizing that you feel the shame and the guilt, and then working towards recognizing the patterns in that and how to break those patterns and make new patterns that are testimony to who you are and not who your mother wants you to be. The final one, the fifth effect that your mother's behavior has on you as a daughter is emotional dysregulation. You may feel panic, anxiety, depression, a sense of feeling numb, a sense of free-falling. Again, I cannot stress this enough. This has to do with you not having that foundation. So you can see it this way, where you have soil. You know, for those of you who love gardening, I love gardening myself. If you were looking to plant whatever it be, whatever it may be, whether it's flowers or vegetables, you need to make sure that the soil is healthy. That whatever seeds you plant can grow and blossom. And when your soil has been neglected, when it has not been nurtured, when there's not good, healthy soil, you're not going to be able to fully blossom, to fully gain your independence, to fully gain your sense of self-worth. So the soil, metaphorically speaking, has to be nurtured, has to be made healthy again. You need to pour new soil into that so that the seeds that you plant in your adult life can then bloom, blossom, come into fruition. So if you're considering coaching to help you through the trauma inflicted through your narcissistic mother onto you, know that you can find my website details below the video. We can set up a coaching call, or you can follow a coaching program. I have breath work, which I truly believe in, somatic healing. Breathing. Breathing is something that we take for granted. Because it comes naturally, we just take it for granted. But when you learn how to use your breath to bring up those feelings from your emotional center, bring them to the surface so that you can then release them, your emotions can be released, you can release all the toxic baggage that has been weighing you down through the toxic bond with your mother. That's when you create space to then breathe new life into yourself, so to speak. So please see the details for my website below the video. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, subscribe, click the button for new notifications, and please take care of yourself. Know that you can heal from narcissistic abuse. And there is a difference between narcissistic fathers and their sons and narcissistic mothers and their daughters. There is a big difference. I'm going to make a video on fathers and sons in the near future, but this is directed towards you, the daughters, who struggle, and I hear it every day, struggle through life, not knowing what is the right thing to do. How do I parent? Am I doing a great job? 9 times out of 10, you are doing a fantastic job for those of you who have become mothers. Because again, it's instinct. You know what to do. So don't second guess yourself. But if you're looking to fine tune certain things, you know where to find me. Take care of yourselves. Love to all of you. See you soon.